Alright everyone, so with the release of Luke Cage this weekend, September 30th, I'm going to be breaking down every Easter egg in the entire series. So obviously, spoiler warning here, if you haven't seen the entire show, you should probably go finish it and come back and we can discuss the Easter eggs that littered throughout this series. So basically what I'm going to do is just list them off and then you can tell me your thoughts at the end of this video. So here we go. In the first episode, Pop jokes about Luke saying it's not a problem for you, Power Man, referencing the name Luke was known by in the comics for decades, starting in issue 17 of Luke Cage Hero for Hire. Reva Connors also appeared in Jessica Jones and was also killed by Jessica under the influence of Kilgrave, which led to her having a fallout with Luke. There's a guy on the street selling DVDs with high quality raw footage of the incident being the Chitauri attack from the first Avengers film. Mariah Dillard warns Cottonmouth of what happened to Fisk when he was beaten up by Daredevil and thrown in prison. Hammer Industries makes the weapons Cottonmouth sells on the black market when his deal goes sour, and he also name drops Justin Hammer, who we last saw in prison at Seagate in the Marvel short film All Hail the King. At the end of episode 1, the owners of the Genghis Khani offer to hire Luke as a personal bodyguard, to which he responds, "I'm not for hire," which is another play on his character's name from the comics. Throughout episode 2, Luke is reading Walter Mosley's E.Z. Rollins' mystery Little Green. The mystery novel follows Rollins as he awakens from a coma and tries to find a missing boy, which, since Cage awakened from a coma at the end of Jessica Jones and headed straight for this show and is looking for Chico the entire episode, it's pretty clear what the connection is. We see Turk make his debut on episode 2, who we have previously seen on both seasons of Daredevil, and he makes a joke saying, "You Harlem boys are off the hook, I'm going back to Hell's Kitchen where it's safe," which is ironic because he's always getting beaten up by Daredevil. Misty's partner Raphael Scarf was also her partner in the comics and has worked with all the Netflix heroes including Daredevil and Iron Fist. In episode 3, Cottonmouth shouts, "Shut up, Black Mariah," at Mariah Dillard when they're fighting in his office, which is a reference to her supervillain name in the comics. In episode 4, the prisoner that is palling around with Shades is the Comanche, who is a frequent enemy of Luke Cage in the comics. After the machine explodes, Luke emerges with bracelets and a headgear that resembles his famous tiara. When he escapes, he finds some clothes and ends up being a loose yellow shirt and jeans, which is his exact look from the comics, and he makes a joke about it saying how he looks like a fool. At the end of episode 4, when Luke and Reva are talking, she has a flash drive and mentions she wasn't always a psychologist, again hinting at her Jessica Jones connection because she had a flash drive with incriminating footage of experiments on Kilgrave. Claire Temple makes her first appearance in Luke Cage episode 5, as we last saw her cameo in Jessica Jones and quit her hospital job in Daredevil season 2. In episode 6, we get a brief cameo from Trish Walker, the host of Trish Talk, the popular radio show first introduced in Jessica Jones. Trish is also known as Patsy Walker, the comic book hero who becomes Hellcat. Cottonmouth tells Luke, "You knocked down a few doors, speak in a church, and now you're Harlem's Captain America," that being an inside reference to the comics where the formula that made Luke's skin unbreakable was based on the super soldier serum that created Captain America. Claire mentions to Luke that she might have a lawyer friend that can help right before he's shot at the end of episode 7. In episode 8, we're introduced to Diamondback, aka Willis Stryker, who only appeared in 2 issues of Luke Cage's early comics, but his appearance in this show is surprisingly accurate, minus the exploding switchblades which have been swapped out for Judas bullets. Diamondback kills one of the thugs at the gang leader table in episode 9 with a switchblade, being an inside reference to his famous comic weapon of choice. In episode 10, during a rally, Mariah mentions a woman in Hell's Kitchen that snapped a man's neck because he was mind controlling her to get people against superpowered beings, and also referencing the end of Jessica Jones. Shades tells Diamondback, "What you talking about, Willis?" in episode 11, a reference to the show Different Strokes, and such a solid joke that even Diamondback gave him props for it. The multiple times characters bring up how Misty almost lost her arm or could lose it in episode 11 are in reference to her bionic arm from the comics. When Claire tricks thugs into letting her downstairs to Luke's hiding spot in episode 11, one of them says, "Escort the night nurse downstairs." Claire was originally going to be night nurse in Daredevil, but the Marvel movie division decided to use the character in Doctor Strange, and she was quickly changed to obscure Luke Cage character Claire Temple. Blake Tower appears in episode 11, a character that made his Netflix debut on Daredevil season 2 and is a frequent ally of Luke Cage and Daredevil in the comics. Tower mentions how Frank Castle shot the city to hell and to imagine what he could do with the Judas bullets. Tower was heavily involved in the case to take down Frank Castle in Daredevil season 2. In episode 12, we finally get our brief Stan Lee cameo in the form of a poster outside the bodega where the Method Man is robbed. It reads, "See a crime, report it." The ridiculous supersuit that Diamondback is wearing at the end of episode 12 is pretty close to his original comic costume minus the helmet. Diamondback's suit is Hammer Tech, which is the same company that provided Judas bullets. In Iron Man 2, Hammer was constantly trying to be better than Tony Stark, so it makes sense he went to the anti-hero supersuit business. Claire takes a tear sheet at the end of episode 13 for a defense training and martial arts class run by Colleen Wing, referencing the upcoming Iron Fist Netflix series. The last time we see Misty Knight in Mariah's club, she is wearing the classic look from the comics and hinting at her character's future in episode 13. So those are all the Easter eggs in Luke Cage Season 1 for Marvel's Netflix universe, and we have much more to come in the upcoming series Iron Fist. So let me know what you guys thought of this down in the comment section below, and what were your favorite Easter eggs in the entire season, and were there any Easter eggs that I actually missed in this video? Be sure to leave all those thoughts down in the comment section below. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time and you like this video, subscribe for more great content like this. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you guys next time.